Okay, so this is going to be a short one because I already did one of this person's objects, but I just wanted to talk about this one really quickly. So, two things about this one, actually just one, is going to focus on a complex shape that's actually pretty flat. So that's kind of fairly easy to model, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open Maya. I'm going to view, image plane. Let's go to four panel layout. Go to the front view. View, image plane, import image. Downloads. Let's see, where is this? There it is. So I cropped in on those hands just because I wanted to focus on them. And I'm just going to focus on this one right here. So I'm just going to move this over like so. I'm going to move this right here. We'll scale this up just so we got a little bit more visual room to work with, and move that there. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to have this object in here, and what I'm going to start with is I'm actually probably just going to go ahead and start with, I might start with, a plane. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the plane. Rotate this with J to snap 90 degrees. Move this up. Bring the subdivision levels lower. So let's see. Channel box, polyplane. Just bring this down to like 4 and 4. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and select this. I'm going to go ahead and circularize it because this is a pretty round tear. I'm going to just block in this teardrop shape for now. Turn on soft select, and I'm just going to kind of block in this shape for the teardrop object. And I'll have to add more subdivision levels to it. Right. Grab this guy, move this guy up a little bit, scale him this way, flatten this guy, he's getting kind of stretched too much. Pull it down, scale him out as well, and then I'll also do that as well. And scale this one in. Okay, just going to flatten these edges just to kind of keep it as simple as I can. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, the nice thing is it's pretty easy to, actually there's a couple ways we could do this. I might actually do this a different way, or now that I think about it, which is natural for me to kind of come to that conclusion after I start. But what I might do is I might start kind of cutting this up to get ready for some of these holes, right? So I might cut that up, delete these two faces right there, right? I might cut into this one right here. The problem is I'm already kind of getting really messy with my topology, right? I'm not, I don't want to, the problem is I don't want to spend too much time working on just this one because I've already worked on one of this person's models or objects. But we can, I just wanted to talk about this object because it's a fairly unique object, and I think a couple people might have something like this in their scenes. And so the main thing I want to do is I just want to be able to, let's go here, whoops. We'll go here, hold shift to snap it, hold shift to snap it, enter, get that as a quad, start spacing these things out, right, starting to even stuff out. It's getting kind of stretchy right here, so I might pull this down and add another edge loop that goes across there, but I'm going to hold off on that for just a second because I don't really want to get too dense in one area without going across the whole mesh, right? And then I can go ahead and quad draw from here to here, right, here to here. Still need half this mesh. Oop. So I can delete this right here. I'll delete these faces right here. And I can smooth it out just to kind of see what I want to start getting. Let's go ahead before we do that. Let's go mirror mesh. Okay, smooth it out. And so the problem I'm going to run into is, one, I don't really like this right here that's happening, I probably want to go ahead and add let's go to multi-cut. Let's turn on X symmetry. So we're starting here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this right there, grab these two vertices, merge them together. Oops, turn off. Okay, now I'll merge them together. And then I'll pull this up a little bit. And I'll go ahead and delete. Actually, no, I messed up. I don't want this. I want this edge loop here. Let's turn on Object X. I want this to go across like this, right above it. Then I'm going to get rid of this edge loop. And I don't know if I actually want to do that, actually. Let's see. Probably can't get rid of that. I mean, I have an ingon down here too, so I'm going to run into the exact same issue I'm running into right there, which is I'm having like a pole that's right in the middle, which personally I don't really like having those. I'm having the same issue up here. I'm having ingons, right? And so I'm not a huge fan of poles in those areas. I'm also working with a pretty low resolution image, so I'm not sure if I'm actually hitting some of these shapes. One of the things I'm noticing is I'm kind of losing my shape here due to the this guy pulling in when I smooth it out. So I can try a couple things. I could try grabbing this and beveling it, right? Just to kind of give it. Oh, that's actually not going to work. Let me extrude it in a little bit, and I'll scale it in, and we can see if that's going to give us a stronger shape. And let's go ahead. I'm going to pull this forward this way so we can actually look at it, because it was intersecting it. Okay, I got some weird topology stuff going on here. Okay, nope, okay. So I'm just going to grab this guy, Control E, scale it in. It's probably still going to curve it out, right? I'm not going to get my hard corners. So what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to start that first. So I'm going to do Command Y. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to essentially, I'll figure out how I'm going to resolve this in a second, but essentially what I want to do is I want to add some holding edges in these areas, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to hold the edges a little bit better. I'm getting some weird distortion here because I have ingons, but that is, and I'm going to have to resolve that either cutting this across like that, or maybe I have it go across like this, which isn't amazing. It's flat, so I could probably just have it go into that area right there, right? And then just have it go across like that, right? And then do the same thing down here. Maybe I'll just have it go down like that. I'm kind of being really loose and sloppy with my topology because I just want to get done with this example, right? And I could do something like that where I'm putting holding edges around that's going to hold that really nicely. The nice thing is this object is fairly flat, or it is flat. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe with a higher resolution image, I'll get a different view of it. But this is this is a flat object, so my topology can be in these areas can be pretty rough, right? It doesn't need to be super amazing, right? But I want to make sure I'm not getting too many polygons in this, so that it doesn't become unworkable or too dense, right? There's a lot of things we can get away with for this project. We can see there's ingons, so I probably would want to grab this one. Let's grab this edge. Okay, and then just have this resolve a different way like that. And then I'd have to figure out, because I have these triangles right here, I'd want to figure something else out right there. Same thing with right here. Well, actually, no, there's a quad and there's triangles, so I'd want to figure out that triangle, which probably, if I insert, probably would go around like this. Center. And, oh, maybe that's an ingon. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's a polygon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay. So this is, I really don't like this topology already. Like, I already hate it. Like, I don't like what's going on right there. So what I'd probably do is see if I can get this. It's going to mess up this triangle. So let's go ahead and, or this, what I was doing with that triangle right there. What I'd probably do is just connect these guys right here across. And get rid of these guys. So now, that was probably a lot easier. I'm missing something here. Oh, it's the ingon that's still there. And then I'm just going to cut across like that. right? Okay, that's a lot better. And then I'd still have to figure out down here, which is probably an easy way to fix this, considering there's a triangle right here, and then there's also, I can probably get something pretty easy right there. Let's see if I'm do something similar to the top one where I just go across like this, right? And then I can just delete that. And that's probably the, yeah, those are quads. And so I just would have to figure out what's going on right here. Maybe I just have these, instead of going across like that, just goes this way. Delete that, smooth it out. There we go. That's still got a goofy guy right here, so maybe I'll go across like this. Right. Quads, right? And so, you know, that was a way I can solve those holding edges. Had to add a lot of topology in there, right? Right, but it's going to be pretty good because it's a flat object, so it's pretty simple. The other thing I would potentially consider doing for modeling this object is I would maybe use something like a, let's go ahead and I'm going to drop in a plane. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Scale this guy up. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull him forward a little bit. I'm going to put him into a layer, right? And the only reason why I want to do that is so I can make him kind of transparent. I'm going to make him what's called a live surface. So if I click on this button up here, it makes it a live surface. And what that means is any object I have now is going to snap to that surface, right? I can't move it. Oh, I guess I can move it. You can see it's bounded though, but for some reason I can move into that vertex. If I go to edge or something select mode, you'll see it's going to try to snap to the surface, right? It won't let me move away from the surface. So I'm actually going to use that to my advantage. I just need a surface to use this tool on. I'm going to use the quad draw tool. Might not even need to do that to create that surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you can see as I hold the tab button, I would recommend obviously checking out using quad draw to know how to use all the buttons and things like that. I'm not going to worry also about the symmetry, so I'm going to turn that off. I can get kind of the width of this. Let's go down to the width I want, and I can actually kind of start to draw out the shape of this. Oops. Let's go ahead and hold that out. And it's not great, so I'm going to hold Shift to relax it, so it's a little bit more evenly spaced, right? And then I can come in here, I can use the soft select and things like that to kind of smooth it out if I really need to. Quad draw, the nice thing about quad draw, the problem with quad draw is most of the time it wants a surface, but the nice thing about quad draw is it combines a lot of different tools, from cutting tools, right, so to insert edge loops, and welding and bridging and things like that. And so what I can do is I can pull that out, insert an edge loop, move that in, move that over here, move this guy up, maybe move this into position, add another edge loop in here just to make it a little bit more contained, right? Move this one here, and then start figuring out how these guys are going to connect together again. Right? Pretty simple in that case, right? And I'm going to use Shift to, careful on that guy up there where that's pulling a lot. I'm going to use that along there just to kind of relax these shapes I've created so they're not quite as uneven and distorted, so I'm holding Shift. And again, you're going to have to watch a video if you want to go this route to learn how to use quad draw. So I might go up this way. I'm going to combine another one right there. Pull this one up to maybe to right here. Add an edge loop. It's right there. And instead of doing it this way where I'm extruding out here, I might just draw another one and do it this way, like going this way. And then figure out how to connect them back together, right? That might be easier in some cases. I'm just going to shift along that border. I'm going to use soft select just like I can in normal mode, and I can just, or normal vertex manipulation mode, and I can just kind of move these around. And then I'm just going to weld these guys together. Right, and the cool thing about quad draw is you can really quickly and really easily modify your edge flow and modify your shapes to get exactly what you need. Right? Okay, and then, you know, when I'm done, I can just jump back out, jump out of quad draw, and I have this pretty complex object or shape. You can see I didn't fully weld some of those things, but I can go in there. And then I can, you know, insert holding edges in some of these areas, like right there and right here, to really kind of crisp up some of those edges I need to, those corners that I want right there. And yeah, so that's just a whole another way that I could model something like this, which is a very intricate shape, but it's fairly simple once you kind of think about the fact that it's just a flat object. And if it's just a flat object with some extrusion, right, afterwards I'm done, I'm just going to, you know, extrude it out. Let's turn off live surface, right? You know, I'll just extrude it out like that and give the edges some bevels, and then now I have this like kind of thin metal piece, right? Let's Control Z for a second. Yeah, I mean, any objects that are flat, if I wanted to, if it had like another thing, like let's say it kind of came up or add a pinch to it, right? I might, you know, might want something like this where it has, I can pull these guys up. I don't know. I mean, this is a theoretical object. This isn't what this object is actually doing. Oops, let's turn off the snap to surface, right? And then I could bevel them or something like that, and then I can, or crease it, and then I can use that to kind of give it some dimensionality. It'll require some more cleanup to make it actually look good, right? So if I wanted an actual like crease right here where it's going from here to here to here, right? I might want to grab these guys and maybe bevel them just to kind of give it a little split. And it's going to take some more cleanup because those aren't good polygons, but that can give me the option of inserting an edge loop. Let's go ahead and, oops, not that way. And I can push that down, kind of like that, or something like that. And then I'll have to clean this up because I have Ngons and just figure that out. I could do something like that to kind of help me out, right? You can see it's starting to get that shape of that welding into it. So I could do that there too. So you can do some pretty complex stuff and clean it up. And as you saw, there's two different ways I did it. It didn't take me that much time to do, so it's pretty easy to just start over again once you kind of got the hang of it. Okay, so that's kind of how I would approach a flat object like this clock hand.